So, you're thinking about moving to Florida. Good move. Or is it? Well, Florida provides summer-like conditions almost all year long. We have plenty of beaches, lots of great fishing, and lots of wonderful neighborhoods that have ample recreation for you to enjoy. That's right, pickleball, tennis, jogging trails, clubhouses, pools, lots of sunshine, dog parks, social clubs, blah, 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 blah. So, what's the cost of living here in Florida? I'm gonna tell you. Here are your numbers. Let's start with the granddaddy, housing prices. Real estate prices in Florida in 2022 went up 17%. And in the third quarter of 2023, the median home price was $414,000 here in the state of Florida. That's a whopping 19.42% over our prices since 2019. So, if you want to live here in Florida, you're gonna pay a little bit more. Now, a side note, the $414,000 median home price is for the entire state. That is not for every city. I mean, you're not gonna get a $414,000 home if you live on Palm Beach Island. It's way higher. Yeah, like you're gonna have to add a few zeros. And that's why, my friends, it's so important for you to get the knowledge of a local realtor. So make sure you get a good one. So what does that exactly mean? Let's use the $414,000 home price. If you buy a home that costs that much in Florida, you're gonna need to make $84,000 a year annually. Let's say if you get a mortgage at 7%. And that, of course, is providing you have no other bills, meaning the mortgage is your only bill. That's with 20% down. So that would give you a payment of about $3,012, $414,000 house with 20% down at 7%. I'm guesstimating on the taxes and insurance. That does vary. So if your insurance is higher than what I've estimated and your taxes are higher than I've estimated, then of course you're going to need to make more money.
So if you're like most people and you have other bills, the salary required goes up to about $115,000 annually.
Next up, property taxes. Here in the state of Florida, our property taxes on average are about 1.9% of the property's assessed value. We go off assessed value, not purchase price. Now I say on average because every city and municipality has a different millage rate, but on average it's 1.9%. Now of course, compared to the rest of the nation, Florida has lower taxes. We're not the lowest. We run somewhere in about the middle, but our taxes aren't that bad compared to some other areas. And with that in mind, at 1.9% of the property's assessed value, and assessed value is lower, we're using an assessed value of $353,000, your tax bill would be $6,707. Assessments, yes. Here in Florida, a lot of neighborhoods have assessments like a CDD. It's a bond. And if your neighborhood was constructed in the last 15 years, you can pretty much count on it having. Did you hear that train? Oh, I hate that train. Okay, as I was saying, CDD. All right, so it's in your tax bill, and if the neighborhood was constructed in the past 15 years, you can almost count on having a CDD. A CDD fee, say that 10 times fast, will be in your tax bill. It could be $800 annually, it could be $3,000 annually. I know some in my area are that high. And yes, it's added onto your tax bill. So that 1.9% of your property's assessed value just went up. And I want to strangle somebody with the freaking train. Some of these are 15 years on the tax bill, and some of them are 30. Insurance. So if you're considering moving to Florida, you should definitely look at our insurance situation. We have some of the highest insurance in the country. And if you're going to look at a house, I would recommend you take the property address and contact an insurance agent to get an idea what it's going to cost to insure that home. On average, insurance here in the state of Florida, as I said, on average, is about $4,200 for most people. You live on the water, it could be 4 times that amount. The national average for insurance here nationwide is about $2,700. So don't forget, you got a hurricane deductible on top of that. It's a big deductible. And it doesn't stop with homeowners insurance, my friends. No, car insurance is freaking ridiculous here as well. Florida is the second most expensive place for car insurance, right behind New York. And I looked this up. The average good driver in the Sunshine State, here in Florida, is $43.26 a year. Roughly $361 a month for full coverage. That's probably $100, $300. That's more than double the national average. But for bare bones, you could probably knock it down to like $175 a month. Food. The Bureau of Economic Analysis estimates that the average Floridian annual non-restaurant food cost is $38.86. So about $324 a month per person. Family of 4 could spend $1,296 a month for groceries, more or less, depending on what you eat. You know, I did a variety of searches, and obviously this information varies depending on your lifestyle and what kind of food you eat. Overall, the cost of living in Florida is 1.19% higher than the rest of the country. So call it 20%. 20% above the national average for cost of living. Now, my advice is to anyone, regardless of where you want to live, do your homework. Make sure you understand what the cost of insurance is, what the cost of property taxes are, how much is the cost of living. I'd also check into safety and crime. I do have a video on that, and I'll pop it at the end on the safest cities in the state of Florida if you are considering the Sunshine State. I mean, nobody likes surprises. Unless, of course, it's the lottery numbers. That's a surprise I'll take all day long. And if I haven't told you, I so appreciate you being here, giving me part of your day. I'm very grateful. So make sure to subscribe so you can spend some more time with me.